Hello, seventh grade parents. My name is Catherine Rossi, and I'm very excited to speak with you all about what to expect in seventh grade science for this upcoming or current rather school year. And in seventh grade, students are going to be exploring life science, so precursors to what to expect in biology in upper school. Just a brief little intro about me. While this is my first year at Notre Dame, it's my 10th year in education. I currently teach 6th, 7th, and 8th grade science here at Notre Dame. And I have experience teaching all 3 grade levels in my past schools as well. I have experience as a runner myself as an athlete, but also with coaching, and I look forward to coaching opportunities here at NDA. I have a bachelor's in science education, as well as a master's in curriculum and instruction, as well as an ESOL and gifted and talented endorsement on my certificate. If you were ever to join us one day in class, what you would see is students who are in charge of their own learning, discovering, researching on their own with my facilitation to help them master content and skills. Life science is awesome. It's something I'm super passionate about and I love to teach it. Here are some examples of topics we'll see throughout the year. Currently, students are exploring biodiversity and classification, practicing how to use dichotomous keys as well as taxonomy to classify living things. We'll then move into exploring cell organelles, genetics, organisms and ecosystems, human anatomy, and then as well as theory of evolution and adaptations that organisms undergo in changes of environment. 6th, 7th, and 8th grade science all have different, all have the same subject aims for the MYP curriculum. And so what the goal is not to have students just simply recall facts, but to have students develop science skills, reflecting, solving problems, appreciating science, designing investigations, researching and documenting. And it's an amazing time for students to build those skills as middle schoolers to get them ready for the next step. Each day, students will need these materials in 7th grade science. Their text is on an app, Connected Ed McGraw-Hill, and it's called Inspired Science. It's a great resource for videos, articles, as well as a great host for formative quizzes. They need either a binder section or a notebook for science, essentially just a place to host science notes and papers. A charged iPad is essential for research, creating presentation materials. And then I also encourage them to bring their own personal items, such as sticky notes, markers, highlighters, scissors, anything they might need for creating and collaborating. While I offer these materials in the classroom, I still encourage students to provide them their own as well. A question I get every year from life science students: are we going to dissect anything? And so stay tuned. There's a chance we will maybe be exposed to a dissection, but for sure there'll be simulations. There also will be investigations on the adaptations of living things, as well as human anatomy systems. Collaborative projects will include Kingdom of Living Things presentation, dissection simulations, genetic investigations, GMO debates, as well as ecosystem design. Within that lab, throughout the year, we're working on a few different things. We want students to inquire. We want them to respect science materials and manipulatives, as well as begin to continuously back up claims with not only evidence, but with reasoning as well. And we encourage this through that inquiry process in the science lab. In science, you'll see grades in PowerSchool that reflect 3 different areas: notes, graphic organizers, homework checks, discussion participation will be notated with a check in PowerSchool. Quizzes, classwork assignments, labs, you will see on a 100-point scale. This table gives you a little brief explanation of what that might mean. It aligns with the MYP assessment criteria on that 0 through 8 scale as well. The MYP assessment criteria for science: knowing and understanding, inquiring and designing, processing and evaluating, and reflecting on the impact of science, will be used for summative tasks. Science is everywhere, and so we want students to connect with science outside of these classroom walls. And so any current events that they read about, hear about, experience, we want them to bring that into the classroom to support the content. What are some technology apps that they already know and love, and how can they use those to inquire and learn more about science? We always want students to make connections to something they've experienced as well that can allow them to deepen that inquiry. I'm looking forward to an amazing year. And if you need to reach me, the best way is through my email, crossi@ndacademy.org. Thank you so much, and looking forward to an awesome school year.